Hi, my name is Angel. Welcome back to my channel. Grab a drink, grab a snack. Today we are just doing a chill little book haul. I recently had my birthday on November 7th, so I got a bunch of books as gifts, so I just wanted to go through those with you guys today. And I also have a few extra books that weren't necessarily birthday books, but I got them around the same time, so I just wanted to do like a total haul of all the books that I've got recently. So we'll go ahead and get straight into it. The first 8 books were birthday gifts from my lovely boyfriend. So starting off strong, he did really good picking books this year, but he got me these editions of Frankenstein and Dracula, which I am absolutely so obsessed with. They are stunning, like the spines with the bright color on it, even the back, how it's the back of their heads is so freaking cool. I have read Frankenstein. I read it in high school, but I would love to reread it. And then Dracula, I actually haven't read. It is a lot thicker than I was expecting it to be. But I'm very, very excited to finally read that and read a classic horror. But yeah, I'm just obsessed with these versions. They are definitely going to be displayed on the bookshelf. It's also really funny because the way he gave me my gifts, he gave me like one little batch of books at first, and then I opened all of them, was like, oh my god, thank you so much. And then he pulled a sneaky one and went into the closet to grab more gifts. But in the first batch of books that he gave me, Frankenstein was in there. So I opened it and I was like, oh my god, this is so cool. They have a matching Dracula one I'll have to get. And he played it off. He was like, oh wow, that's so interesting. Comes out with the second batch of books with Dracula in it and surprised me and got me both of them, which I love. And yeah, I'm just obsessed. That's all I can say about those versions. Now, moving into the other books he got me, he got The Perks of Being a Wallflower, which has been on my TBR for a very, very long time. We all know the movie. I love the movie, so I've been meaning to read the book for a very long time. I just have never gotten around to it, so he got it for me. The next one is another movie that is Rebeca. This, I saw the movie. I don't know if they have multiple versions of the movie, but whatever the most recent one was, I watched and then really, really loved it and realized it was a book afterwards. So I'm very, very excited to read this because I feel like the book obviously is going to be a lot better. This is sort of like a romantic, maybe psychological type of thriller where this woman gets obsessed with her new husband's ex-wife, but things are not exactly as they seem. So I'm very, very excited to read the book. They also have so many editions of this one because it is an older book, but I really, really love this cover version of it. I think it's so pretty. This next one actually is a movie as well, The Lords of Salem by Rob Zombie. So I believe that Rob Zombie wrote this book after the movie came out, and I believe he had, I don't know if this is a ghostwriter or just somebody he collaborated with, B.K. Evanson, to create this book that has to do with the movie. I'm not sure. I'm very curious to see where the book is going to go that the movie didn't go. I know Rob talked about it himself, and he said that it goes a little bit more in depth with the characters and different things that happen. So I'm very, very excited. I'm very curious to see how the reading experience will compare to the watching experience, because obviously the movie has some stunning visuals that you can really get, I don't know what the word is, like entranced with the visuals in the movie. So I don't know how the book will compare to that. But I love Rob Zombie, so if Rob Zombie writes a book, like, I have to have it, obviously. Then he got me Last Days by Adam Neville, which I'm super, super excited for. Adam Neville, I think, is a fantastic author. He writes a lot of folk horror, and he is the author of The Ritual. So I think aside from The Ritual, this is one of his most popular books. I always see people talking about it, and I believe it has to do with like a cult horror. So I'm very, very excited. I actually have another Adam Neville book on my physical TBR, so I can't wait to get to them because I love his writing. And she's thick. She's a little bit thicker than I thought, but over 500 pages. So I'm very, very excited to get to this when I have a chance to. This next book I actually saw on an Instagram ad before it was published, and I was like, I don't know anything about this book, what the plot is, I don't care. The cover is stunning, and so I added it to my list just because of the cover. This book is Grove Hollow Metamorphosis, which is a series, I believe, and this is going to be the first book in the series. It just recently published in October, and I don't really know anything about it except for what it says up here, a gothic paranormal romance. But can we take a moment of appreciation for this cover. Like, it's so stunning with the Luna moth on it. I love. So I don't really know anything about this. We have an 18-year-old girl, takes place in 1985. It looks like there is going to be some family drama, which I love, maybe some school life drama. I don't know, has to do with ghosts, and I'm very, very excited to read this one. So with that being said, if you guys have heard of this or have happened to read it, because I know I've never seen anybody talk about it before, I don't think it's very popular, but if you guys have heard of it, let me know what your thoughts were. Then he got me a nonfiction book, which is The Cold Vanish, Seeking the Missing in North America's Wilderness, which I believe is sort of like a missing 411 thing with people that go missing in America's national parks. So I'm very, very excited because that is a topic that very, very much intrigues me and I have read about before. So I'm really, really excited to see what this book talks about and if I learn some new things, if I hear some more interesting stories just about people going missing. I don't know. I'm very excited, and it's perfect because I'm trying to read nonfiction in November anyways, so I can definitely put this on my TBR for the month. And then my cousin actually sent me a book from my book wish list as well, and she chose the perfect book because I absolutely love this author, The Forgotten Island by David Sodergren. If you guys haven't already heard me rant and rave about him, he is a fantastic horror author. I've only read 2 of his books, but I have thoroughly enjoyed every second of those books, and I know that I love him so much that I want to have physical copies of his books now. Pretty much everything he's written is available on Kindle Unlimited, but like I said, because I know that I love him, I want the physical copies. So I'm very, very excited to read this one. His books are just, they're fun, they're campy, they're fast-paced, they're gory, like, just I don't know, I've said it a million times, but please just go and read one of his books if you are a horror fan. I promise you will not be disappointed, and I can't wait to read this one. Then for my birthday, I also got a gift card, so obviously I took that gift card to Barnes & Noble and bought more books. I was on the hunt for one book in particular, so you guys may or may not have seen that I just recently uploaded a vlog where I was reading fantasy, in which I read A Court of Thorns and Roses and was absolutely obsessed, and I couldn't stop thinking about getting the second book and reading the second book. So of course I got it, A Court of Mist and Fury, and I'm so excited. Like, we went to Barnes & Noble first thing yesterday morning, and then we went to a couple different places afterwards, but every time we were in the car for a few minutes, I was just picking this up and reading it. So I have read a few pages from the beginning. I don't know, I'm just like, there is something about me. I just want to abandon every single reading plan I have for the rest of the month and just read this, but I know I shouldn't do that because I have a bunch of other books to read. But I'm very excited for when I do get to read this one. However, I have created sort of a problem for myself because the first book, if you can see it behind me, is a hardcover. I thrifted that one before I knew I was going to enjoy it, so I didn't want to pay full price for it. But I got the paperback of the second one because I feel like, first of all, the paperbacks are cheaper. Second of all, because it is so thick, I feel like it'll be easier to read and carry around as a paperback. And then, obviously, because it's cheaper and I was using a gift card, I got this one so that way I could get a second book with my gift card. I got We Spread by Ian Reid, which is another one of my favorite authors. His book, Foe, is a book that I really love. His book, I'm Thinking of Ending Things, is one of my all-time favorite books. So this one has been on my radar since it got published. I've been dying to read it, but I knew I wanted to own a physical copy. I just had never got around to buying it until now. So I'm so stoked to finally have this and be able to read it. I don't know, I just love Ian Reid so much. I've heard such fantastic things about this book that I absolutely cannot wait to read it. And just, you know, when you buy a book and you're like, this is gonna look stunning on my shelf. Like, I'm so excited to put it on the shelf next to my other Ian Reid books. But that's that. Now, the next books are not necessarily birthday books, but things that I got around at the same time. So I just wanted to throw them in here, like I said. So I got myself Illuminate, which is the first book in the Illuminate files, which I believe is a trilogy. This is a sci-fi that is mixed media, as you guys can probably see, but I've heard very good things about it. I've had my eye on it for a while, so I saw a used copy for like $5 and decided to buy it, and I'm very excited to read it and hopefully love it and hopefully continue reading the series. Then I got my Aardvark book club book box. Oh my god. Words? I don't know. Then I got my Aardvark book club box for November, where I got 2 books. They had Midnight is the Darkest Hour by Ashley Winstead. Everybody and their mother is reading this book this month, and so I'm very, very excited to have it. I don't know if I'll get to it this month, but I'm excited to see what everybody else thinks of it so I can get even more hyped to read it. I absolutely love the cover, and I'm so glad that I have a cover or just a physical copy to admire in person. I think it's absolutely stunning. Very excited to read that one. And then the other one that I picked for this month was The Reformatory by Tanana Reeve-Dew, which is another stunning cover. She is very thick though, a lot bigger than I was expecting it to be, but I am very, very excited to read this one as well. I hope the vibes are great, and I'm very excited to see what everybody else thinks of this book. And the next one I have already mentioned in one of my other videos. I think it was a vlog where I opened this package that I had gotten, but this is from a Goodreads giveaway. That is What Feasts at Night by T. Kingfisher, which is the sequel to What Moves the Dead. This book doesn't come out until February, so I'm very, very excited to have an early copy and to have won it right before my birthday. It was like an early birthday present for me. So I'm very, very excited to read this one, and I love that it's short too, so I don't have to worry about reading it and messing up like the other TBR plans that I have. Because it is so short, it'll be a very quick read. Anyway, that is all of the books that I got essentially for my birthday this month. If you guys have read any of these, definitely let me know, get me hyped to read them. And with all of that being said, thank you so much for watching, and hopefully I will see you guys next time.